So, hi, everybody. This is Fran Lewis. This is MJ Network. MJ in memory of my sister, Marcia Joyce. And Vincent Zandri is here. And watch out. I wish Moonlight was real. Trust me, this guy is fantastic. So, let me put my other glasses on so I could see. I try not to hide my face. Yeah. Okay. How did you create the first scene with this particular one? I'm so aggravated that I can't find the book. That first
This
scene,
is it.
yeah, that's it. I know. And I
I
know
took it.
it's
Here.
somewhere.
Here.
I know the book is somewhere.
The first scene. Oh my God, Fran! It's been like 3 years. I have.
It's got to be here somewhere.
Yeah. It's always tough to answer these questions because even though the book just came out, like it's been 2 or 3 years since I wrote it. But I think I got the idea from. I live near a local news station, and I used to date the one of the broadcasters and broadcaster slash reporter. And I don't know, she just popped into my head one day, and the uh, the local affiliate I'm talking about happens to be across from one of my locals. So I don't know, it just came up that way. It just somehow popped into my head, and I wrote it.
I love this guy. I wish he was real.
Mm, I like Elvis.
And he gets worse in every book. I love him. And how
Yeah.
does the first scene set the path for the novel? And why do we think that? You really wonder why the feds are really on it. That was really cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
Again,
actually like
just
the character.
yeah. Again, it's just something that happened organically. I didn't plan it that way. It's just the way it turned out. Um, uh, I like conspiracies, like Moonlight, and I like writing stuff that just gets deeper and deeper and darker and darker and grittier and grittier, and that's Moonlight's world.
It's so unbelievable. So, who is Kelly Darling? This was so cool. This is a real twist on your books. Why was she dropped off at the lab? Why was she dropped
Um,
off in his lab? I mean, I love Moonlight, and this really got me because she's smart.
yeah, um, Kelly Darling's the reporter, right? If I remember correctly, I forget. I don't know. I know this much. She's in over her head, with what she's investigating, and without giving anything away, of course. Um, and she needs Moonlight to protect her, and eventually, you know, but the feds have a secret, and how can I say this without giving it away? But they're trying to protect their secret. Let's just say that.
She's really scary. From the start, though, I got this weird feeling that she wasn't who she said she was going to be. That she was really clever. And Moonlight, when it's a girl, forget it. He's
Yeah,
doomed. He's doomed.
yeah, yeah. He's gonna fall in love because that's him. He's just, you know, uh, he's doomed to fall in love, just like you say. Like, it's just his nature. He's uh, always falling in love, and with the wrong people, with the wrong women, always. So is Elvis now, and sometimes they compete for the same woman.
This is scary, let me tell you. Why does she escape each time puts her in place? I mean,
Well, she doesn't. She
no
doesn't
matter
want
where
to.
he puts her, he can lock her in a cage and she's going to get out. I mean, good for
Yeah,
her.
yeah. You know, he's basically assigned a babysitter. But and
Yeah.
she knows it, So she runs away, and is every chance she gets. Um, you would too, right? Um, and she's still determined to. to do her story and to make it live and to blow the thing wide open. And you know, I don't want to tell anybody how that worked out, but my favorite scene was when she takes off into the alley and Moonlight follows and has to face down a pit bull.
I don't post too much on Facebook anymore. I'm noticing that a lot of it is derogatory, gossip, and I posted my new book on there because it came out on May 13th.
Oh,
Now,
what's
yes,
the
up
book?
my inverted reality. It's horror.
Oh,
You was
oh,
right up
cool.
your alley.
Right.
26 stories. Every character does something wrong, and they learn to find out what happens if they don't repent and where they wind up. It's
Wow.
it's it's it aggravates me because not one my students read it, but not one review. 200 people read the book and nobody said anything.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to read it and review it.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
So,
yeah,
my
I don't do.
favorite character besides Moonlight, is Fat Elvis.
Yeah,
So, how does he come into the picture? Because I love him, and Moonlight has no choice. He's got to keep him. You got to keep Fat Elvis.
yeah, he's got to keep Fat Elvis. Fat Elvis is, Moonlight's always like in the red in his bank account, and Fat Elvis is even worse. Um, and so they kind of need each other. So if there's a gig and Elvis and Moonlight needs backup, um, Elvis is the go-to guy. It used to be Blood, but Blood works more now uh, with Jack Marconi and occasionally Steve Jobs. And now he's got a new partner, Harry Steele. But so yeah, Moonlight and Fat Elvis are 1977. Fat Elvis are the team, um, and he needs him on this one too. And thank God, because if 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 Elvis wasn't there to like cover the backside of that alley,
Yeah,
um, Kelly Darling would have gotten away for good.
I love Fat Elvis. I wish he was real too. I could use him right now. Now this gets me. Why does he drink so much beer and whiskey?
Well, that
It's
goes
so
back
good
to
for
the.
you.
I know. But that
I
goes
don't
back to the
drink.
good. That's good. Uh, that goes back to the traditional 1940s, 50s noir. I'm true to that form. I'm like, even though I was born in the 60s, in the 1960s, I still write in that 1940s, 50s traditional way. Um, um, and everybody knows it, like I'm not breaking new ground in certain ways. I'm just creating new stories um, based on that old formula. It's just what I love to write. It's what I love to read, and what I love to watch. So that I think a lot of detective fiction these days is kind of whitewashed with that. You can't do anything that's going to insult anybody, and um, it's sort of homogenized, and there's the woke culture and all that kind of crap. And mine's not. None of my stuff is. It's still very, very traditional. Very much, men are men, women are women, and and the drinking is hard, and the death is even harder.
A lot of the books are having that, but when I started to teach, never mind when, they thought I was the hoochie coochie mama of the school. I was basically back then,
Right.
and I went to a party the first week after school, and one of the guys, every time I started to drink my seltzer, he put 22 shots of vodka in it, and I did, and you don't taste it, and I was pretty happy. I got so sick.
Oh
When
my
I got too
god.
friendly, I never drank again. I wanted to kill him. This is my
Oh my
friend.
god.
Did it on purpose.
Oh my
So
god. Hey, Fran,
now we
hold on.
come to the captain to Miller. Why
Fran,
does
hold
he
on.
react to her disappearance?
Okay,
He
hang on a
doesn't
second.
care.
Hey, Fran, hold on
Does
one
he
second.
care?
Wait, hold on one second. I'll be right back. I just got to get
Okay.
something.
Why did they want me to do this? Okay, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we will have the author of D-Day, the D-Day, and he was asked to speak at the 50th celebration of D-Day. So that is going to be very exciting, I hope.
Sorry about that. I had to get my water.
Yeah, oh, that's good. No, I just
Uh,
announced tomorrow's show,
oh, good. Oh, good. Good for you. You had a good advert then.
and
Advert.
I did put the book cover and everything on Facebook, but who knows? Okay, so
Oh, I
how
know.
does Miller react to Kelly's disappearance?
Well, Miller is not happy about it, obviously,
Yeah,
because that's the whole point of the job. Um, if you're ever stuck for a plot,
yeah.
just have your detective or whoever um, try to babysit somebody who's in trouble or somebody who's threatening to
Mhm.
expose something. And it's it's always a good go-to plot. It's not a new plot, like I didn't invent it. But I mean, I think part of this, I think part of this book, I might have had the Clint Eastwood movie from the '70s in my mind when I wrote this, the Gauntlet. Is it called the Gauntlet? I think it is. Um, where I think it's Dirty Harry. Is it Dirty Harry? Jeez, I can't even remember. Anyway, the Clint Eastwood character is supposed to bring in this woman to the police precinct, and they have something in store for her that he's not aware about, and he's determined to do his job, and they set him up for failure, you know, um, and they try to kill him while he's bringing her in. I think that's what I had in mind at the time when I wrote this.
Down, it gets to the hard, good part. Why are the Russians and why are they after all three of them?
Well,
Yeah, well, without them, the book would be boring because she always needs somebody to go after somebody.
yeah, because the Russians are the bad guys in this one, because
Yeah, I know.
she wants to expose them for what they're doing. Um, but the but it's not that simple. If you read the book, you'll see that
Yeah.
the plot with the Russians goes much deeper, and her role. Again, I don't want to give away anything, but her role is not so simple either. She's not just a reporter.
So she wants to air a video, and what's in
Yeah.
it is folly volatile because she doesn't really care what she does,
Mm-mm.
no matter what it's going to do.
Yeah. She's going to do her job,
I
and
know.
yep, yeah, and that's what causes all the havoc.
So, how did you create the scene in the caves? And how is it that no matter what they do, these Russians find them? They're damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Um, I just thought, cool scene to write. Again, it just came to me, you know. And who doesn't love that stuff? Caves the Russians are on their heels. Yeah, they're professionals.
No, she seems to help. One of them gets hurt. She helps them though. Why would she even care?
Well, she's got a stake in the game.
Yeah.
Um, she's got a big stake in the game, and it's all the stuff. It's all the knowledge that she possesses that Moonlight doesn't. That he has to dig out of her. Um, you know, that becomes the
So we have Butch, and then we have the motel. Motel. What happens there? Where's my moonlight?
yeah. Um, yeah, some really nasty stuff happens to Elvis.
I know.
Elvis ends up in a shopping cart after um, he gets really messed up, and then Moonlight also gets messed up. And I mean, these guys play for real.
Mm.
Um, in that hotel room. That's based on a real hotel that used to be in Albany. That became um, like a flea bag hotel. But at one time, in the 30s, that hotel used to have shows, and movie stars would come up and stay there, and movie stars from the time. It, in the 60s, it became rundown and whatever. Now it's been knocked down.
Well, if you listen to the news, it's not that much different now.
No,
I
no,
mean, I
it's not.
listened to the news this morning, hijacks, kids killing people,
Yeah,
random killings. It's like merciless everywhere, no matter where you go. Even up here in Westchester, we've
yeah,
had a couple. It's horrible.
yep,
So
yep. Albany
I
too.
really like Miller. So how come they were able to get him, and how did he get? Why is he in trouble? Poor Miller.
Uh,
I didn't
again,
think he would do that.
yeah. Well, Miller's a by the book guy, but he also, if
I
he
like
feel,
him.
yeah, if he feels as though breaking the law for a good reason, um, if he needs to break the law for a good reason, he's going to do it. Because there's the law in the books, um, which sometimes are awful, and then there's like a morality that these guys bear, and they're gonna always choose the moral ground above the legal ground, because sometimes the legal ground is extremely dubious and actually favors the criminal. So guys like Miller and Moonlight, they're going to do the right thing, even if they're breaking the law. Too bad.
Now who found him? And who's Alex?
Hmm. Alex,
Yeah.
you got to read the book. You got to read the book. I can't tell you who
Okay,
found
but you
Miller.
can't know that because if you don't read the book, forget it.
Yeah, I don't want to say who finds who or any of that stuff. You got to read the book.
Well, then I'm going to eliminate the next two questions because there are two chapters. Well, one page explains everything, and one chapter explains the shock. So, how are people going to realize that this is horrible? What's a shocking revelation that you could reveal?
Yeah, can't reveal that. Um, but just know this: like, you're never gonna see the ending coming. Um, which you shouldn't. And my whole theory is, I don't want to know what the ending's going to be before I write it. I only want to know how it's going to end, like when I write those final pages, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, that's how it ended. That's what the story's about. Even now, I'm writing a novelette for um, this this new imprint that Troy Lambert and I are running called Book Blasts, and we're putting out one a month. Where like I'll contribute two
Yeah.
novelettes, and he'll do two or something like that. And the whole message is short reads for thriller readers on the go. And I'm just about getting to the climax, 40 pages in, and I have maybe 20 pages to go, and I still don't know how it's going to end. I have an idea, but I still have no clue. And that's the way it was when I was writing this book. All my books, basically.
Well, you can't end the series because I would cry.
Oh, I'll
So
never end the Moonlight series. I mean, that Moonlight. Um,
now,
he's
Kelly,
he's he's
how does
gotten.
she get around? And I feel bad for her. I actually liked her. I thought she had spunk. What exactly
Yeah.
was her job? What does she do?
Well, she's a legit reporter.
That's what I thought. She's tough.
She's a legit reporter who uncovers the wrong story, and um, she becomes. Let's just say she becomes a part of the story, a big part, and that's dangerous when you're a journalist. Uh, Too bad we don't have Charlie Stolzberg here, because he could comment on that. You know, I mean, I've been a freelance journalist in the past myself, but not to this extent.
I felt sorry for her in one scene. I really did.
Yeah,
And
yeah, she
well,
gets.
every reporter has a phone. And what happens when you don't have a phone it makes it even harder. So how do you deal with that? I
Yeah,
mean, well, I
yeah.
left my phone
Remember?
home the other day. I felt like I was going to lose my mind. And then I come home, there's a whole bunch of phone calls of people yelling at me. How come you didn't answer?
Oh, I know. I know, Fran.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen my new short story, short thriller, The Commuter. It's all about a commuter, advertising exec, who works in the city and lives up near you, and he takes the train into the city every day. But he loses his phone on the train and on Metro North, and he goes ballistic. He actually goes
Yeah.
ballistic. He one thing it just snowballs one problem into another. He starts accusing people of stealing his cell phone, and then a cop gets involved and he steals the cop's gun, and it just goes ballistic, all because he lost his cell phone.
My nieces get crazy if they can't ask me a question and I don't answer them in 5 minutes. Because when
Yeah.
you want the answer, don't ask your parents, ask your aunt.
Oh, I know. I know.
Th-
I
That's
know.
that's how they got it into their better top paying positions. So
Right.
tomorrow, Michael Butler will be here on D-Day, the history of D-Day. He was asked to speak at the 50th anniversary of D-Day, since his family was there. So that should be interesting. On the
Wow.
15th, we have Cindy McDonald. On the 17th, we have a very odd book. Six will carry the casket, and one will say the mass, and that's all I'll say about that. On the 29th, Eleanor Kurth. And on the 27th of October, the one and only Peter James. He's doing one on Rushing for me. His new book is Hawk is Dead, and the main character is Queen Camilla. For real. And he's friends with the Queen of England. And
Sounds
he doesn't
interesting.
do streams, but he thinks I'm wonderful, so what can I say?
Well, you
And
are.
I'm trying, and I'm waiting for the 18th of next month for confirmation from Philip Morgan for false witness.
Excellent. Excellent.
I get shocked at myself sometimes, but I'm
Fran,
booked
you're
until
still
November. So if
you're still going
anybody out
crazy.
there has something, now's the time to tell me. I was going to take off and forget this and not do it anymore. But obviously, let's see what happens in November and December if I get anybody that wants an interview. And I'm waiting to hear from Janie and Krantz for January,
Wow,
maybe.
you got a full boat. Yeah, this is the first time I've been on in over a year, I think, Fran.
Yeah, you know something?
Last year was a washout.
It's fun, but I wonder sometimes. So in the end, where does this leave everyone? Are you going to bring Fat Elvis back if you write another one? Because you have to bring him back.
The only thing I'll say is yes, Fat Elvis is back. I've already written two or three more of the Moonlight since this came out. A couple of short ones, a couple of medium length ones, and a
Uh
couple
huh.
of full length ones. Oh yeah, Fat Elvis is back. Moonlight is healthier, and oh yeah, we're not going to lose these guys for anytime soon.
So what else besides the Moonlight series are you writing that I'm
I
going to
got
get
it.
and read
I have a new
soon?
book called Alive on Arrival,
I
and
didn't
that's
get that one.
it's not out yet. It's currently with my
Oh,
agent, and she's shopping it right now, and it looks very promising. I can't say much more than that. And I have about 19 books
yeah. So I'm waiting
waiting
for
in
all of them.
waiting in the wings to go. And but I have had so many writing projects, anthologies, and new imprints. I just did a successful Kickstarter for the new Chase Baker and the Nazi Time Machine. So I'm having trouble keeping up myself with everything. It's just if I don't keep a running list of titles, Fran, I'll forget about them, and they'll sit on my computer for years.
I try not to, but I'm stuck on it also
Yeah,
because I write the review on my phone, on my notepad. No, seriously, that I
yeah.
put it on my computer and it disappears.
Right,
I did. And I wrote a review for The Quietest, which is a really spooky book, and it
right.
disappeared. So I had to put it back on. Plus, my Just Review site is not, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. It doesn't love me anymore. What can I say? So, when are you going to
Yeah.
send me the next one so I put you in my schedule?
I'm gonna send. I should probably send you the new Marconi, the body. Just
Okay.
doing very well, and also it's like it's one of my Albany noir thrillers, and I think you'll love it.
So just let me know when you want do another one of these wacko screams.
All right, Fran, it's so great to see you again. You look
It's nice
beautiful
to
as
see
ever.
you. I look I don't even look in the mirror since my surgery for my face.
Oh, you look beautiful as ever.
I try. Thank you so much.
All right.